How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here, and in this video, we're going to be doing an overall market update, taking a look at the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq. We're also going to be doing a trading update, talking about what I personally did today in the markets, as well as some stocks and ETFs that I'm watching and looking to trade right now, heading into 2020 here in the next couple of days. And as you guys read in the title, we're also going to be breaking down NIO stock, because NIO today went absolutely parabolic. Guys, they reported earnings this morning and the stock was up 80%, I believe, maybe even above 80% at its highest point today. So I want to break that down and show you guys some profits from my long-term position here in NIO, which we'll talk about in the next couple of minutes. But before we do get into that and all of the other good stuff in this video, all I ask from you is, if you enjoy this video, find value in this video at any point, simply go down below for me, hit that like button, consider subscribing, and drop a comment. Let me know, what are your thoughts on these different stocks we talk about, NIO, the markets in general, my trades. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. So without further ado, guys, let's get right into it, starting off here with the S&P 500. So you guys can see here the S&P 500 is currently down 17 points with around an hour and 10 minutes left in today's session, down 0.5%. And this is exactly what we've been talking about in these videos over these past couple of days. And what is that? The pull down. The pull down, the healthy pull down, we are finally getting it, right? The RSI on all of these major indexes, the S&P, the Nasdaq, the Dow, it's been extremely overbought. The price action's been overbought as well, very overextended above these moving averages, being the 50 and the 180 SMA, and that was leading me to be cautious, not buying into the FOMO here, at the peak of the markets, and waiting to see if we would get a pull down. And you guys can see we are getting that pull down right now. Again, down 17 points, down half a percentage point at the time that I'm recording this video. And I think this is extremely healthy, guys, right? We hit an all-time high yesterday at 32.47, and the dump off came pretty aggressively this morning. We ended up opening at 32.40, and we dumped all the way down to about 32.16 in the matter of the first hour of the market. So a 24-point drop in the S&P in that first hour. We ultimately rallied from there, gaining back around 15 points. But at this point, we ended up dumping off even further, which leads me to believe that, hey, this selling may not be done. We may be selling off into the close of the market today and maybe into tomorrow's session, which I'm going to be watching how the futures markets are tomorrow morning, as well as the large caps, to really see if this sell-off is going to continue into tomorrow's session, right? So on the 5-day, 5-minute, you can see how we are trending below that 50 SMA and the EMA and the 180 SMA. We just got a bearish cross, the EMA crossing below the 50 SMA. So if we do something like this heading into the close, that's going to be a very bearish move for the S&P 500. So where are a couple of areas that we may sell off to? Like I've been mentioning in these videos, and like I'll mention to you guys right now, the 50 SMA is the first spot I'm watching, which could give the S&P about another 1 to 1.5% downside, more downside from where we are right now. So watch for maybe a 3170, 3180 price target on that 50 SMA. And let's say if more aggressive selling kicks in, we may be going down to that 180 SMA, which could be putting us down to around $3,075, maybe around $3,080 for the S&P 500 index, which from where we are right now, that would be another 4 to 5%. So in my opinion, guys, a pull down to at least the 50 SMA is necessary for it to be quote-unquote healthy, right? That would be healthy. A pull down even further down to that level that we just said, to the 180 SMA, that would also be healthy, and obviously that'd be a bigger pull down, which hey, maybe you could end up buying some stocks at this point that, would get hit if the S&P and the overall markets were to sell off. So this could open up different opportunities, for investors out there that are long term, for traders that are looking to swing trade different stocks in the market. So keep an eye on that for the S&P 500. So taking a look at the Nasdaq, this one's down $49.25 right now, down 0.56%. And like I've been mentioning in these videos, in my opinion, the Nasdaq is the most overbought out of the three major indexes, the S&P, the Dow, and the Nasdaq, obviously, right? And we got very overextended, extremely overextended in terms of the RSI, above moving averages, just like the S&P, right? So the fact that we did see the correction today, that actually already brought us to that 50 SMA, and it seems like as of now, if the market kind of holds steady where it is, we'll probably end up closing above that on the 4-hour chart, which is a good sign, I guess. But if we go in a bit closer, we can see that on the 5-day, 5-minute, we're still downtrending, and it seems like we failed to break out of that 180 SMA, which means in the short term, this is still bearish, and we could potentially sell off even further to the downside, which if we go back to that 4-hour chart, that would mean we'd break the 50 SMA, and then my target would be around 8,500 for the Nasdaq, putting it on top of this old resistance as a new support, and that 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. And this could be opening up different plays, in my opinion. One being SQQQ, which goes up at a 3x rate whenever the Nasdaq is selling off. You can see this is currently up 1.9% on the day today, and the Nasdaq is down 0.5%. So do the math, 0.55% times 3, that's around what? Like a 1.6, 1.7, something like that, which is roughly what SQQQ is up for the day, or, that's what it's up for on the day right now. So if we end up dumping, all the way down to that 180 SMA, that would be around a 2 to 3% drop, which could open up around a 6 to 9% potential for profit on SQQQ. So those are some thoughts there. I do see further downside on the Nasdaq, especially if we break, this 50 SMA heading into maybe tomorrow's session, next week's session. We'll see. But that, if it breaks, definitely more downside in my opinion. So taking a look at the Dow Jones here, guys, we can see it is down 163 points right now, down almost 0.6% on the day. We hit an all-time high, I believe it was yesterday, at around $28,701. Actually, no, it was not yesterday because today's Monday. That was actually on Friday, and we can see most of the dump-off came this morning from 28,600 all the way down to around 28,420. That was in the first hour of the market. From there, we rallied up, and then we ended up selling off again in these past, I guess you can say 2 hours, roughly 2.5 hours, we've been selling off. So into the close of the market, if the Dow does something like this, or it ends up just holding steady, that's going to be a bearish close based on these smaller time frame charts, because we closed below all of the moving averages if that were to be the case. But let's say we rally up, that would be a bullish close, but honestly, guys, I don't think that's going to happen. So where could this thing end up selling off? A couple of different spots I'm watching right now are maybe 28,300. That's about 150 points below from where we are now. That's a strong support, in my opinion, for the Dow Jones. And if we break that level, you could argue 28,000 to around 28,100 would be the level, putting us right above that 180 SMA here on the 20-day 1-hour chart. So keep an eye on that level for potential sell-off on the Dow Jones. Ultimately, a healthy spot here that's proven to be a support in the past is this 50 SMA, putting us again at that 28,000 to around $28,100 level for the Dow Jones, which could easily happen, guys. That's not really much of a crazy sell-off anyway. It's really about a 1 to 2% correction from where we are right now, which could easily happen in the next couple of days. So overall, those are my thoughts on the markets. We're selling off. There's more downside based on the technicals that I'm personally seeing, and I'd love to know what you guys have to think down below in the comment section on the markets. So let's talk about what I personally did today in terms of my trading, guys. And the truth is, other than buying a little bit of the stock we'll talk about in a couple of minutes here, I didn't do anything. I'm simply holding on to my swing positions, and I didn't add to any of them. And the truth is, the markets were red today, obviously, like we just talked about. So a lot of the stocks I own in my swing account, they were red as well. I didn't lose money because I didn't sell, but on paper, I'm actually down in terms of today's session. Overall, though, in a lot of these swings, I'm still up, but now with today's red day, I actually creeped into the red, and I believe one or two of the ones that I hold, and we'll talk about that here right now. So PayPal, I'm currently in, and this kind of goes into as well, stocks that I'm watching heading into 2020, because these are the ones I'm watching and then I actually have money in right now. PayPal is one of them, right? And I didn't sell because we're still overall holding that 108 level of support and that general 50 SMA level of support as well here on the 4-hour chart. And I have some buffer built in because my average cost right now is around the 106 to about low 107 area, so I'm still up on this position. And if you guys don't recall, I started buying in 104, took some profits here, scaled in a little bit more at around 106, and the remaining shares I have, again, are at around 106 to about the low 107. So that's one swing that I'm currently involved with right now. Another one here is Uber, ticker symbol UBER. This is actually one of those that I'm dipping into the red a little bit. I started buying Uber in the low 30s a couple of days ago, a little bit here in the mid 30s as well. And now with this correction that we saw in the market today, those shares I'm down about maybe close to 1% and didn't hit my stop loss. Actually, I don't even think I have a stop loss set. It's more of a mental stop loss for Uber, but I'm only down a tiny bit and I still feel comfortable holding these ones over the next couple of days and weeks here. Ticker symbol UBER. Another one that I'm currently a little bit down on is Facebook, guys. Facebook, but it's still holding the overall 204, 205 level of support and that 50 SMA on this 4-hour chart, which makes me comfortable continue holding this one. I personally got in, I believe it was on Thursday, a couple of days ago, at around 200, and I believe it was in the $6 range, 206. So if we look here on the 5-day, 5-minute, I'm down a little bit of around, I think it's less than 1%. I'm down about maybe 0.5, 0.6%, which is really nothing crazy, and that leads me to feeling comfortable holding these ones. And again, due to that technical hold here on the support at around 205, that's another reason why I like and am holding Facebook. Another one that I'm in is at V, guys, ATVI. This is strictly a hold in my opinion, since it is holding above that 50 SMA, which if it were to break aggressively, that's where I'd consider completely liquidating my position and taking profits right now before looking for a re-entry. And I believe that's pretty much all of the swings I'm in. Home Depot is actually another one that isn't doing too well today, down about 1.18%, right around my cost basis at this point. So this is one that ideally, guys, I need to see it break above that 180 SMA to add a lot more to the position. Personally, I want to sell most of it at around 224, then add more or just maybe build a new position on the break above 224. But that's kind of the goal there, and a bunch of different stocks that I'm in right now in my swing trading account. I'd love to know what you guys have to think about that down below. So now let's break down NIO stock, talk about their earnings and some quick numbers and why in general this thing went up 80+% at its peak at around $4.87, maybe close to 90%. I forget off the top of my head, definitely 80%, and how it's up still 63% as of right now. This is absolutely insane, guys, considering the stock was at $2.48 yesterday. It blew through $3, it blew through $4, and we were thinking at this time that it was going to blow through $5 in the matter of less than 24 hours. So what ended up causing this? So their earnings came in at 33 cents. They lost 33 cents EPS per share, which analysts were expecting a loss of 41 cents. And the crazy thing is, guys, is a year ago, they reported $1.51 of loss, so 1.51 EPS loss. So the fact that they reported 33 cents of loss a year later, that margin has shrunk a lot. They're losing a lot less money, even though they're still burning through cash, guys. They still have a cash problem. They're losing a lot less money based on that EPS number, right? And their sales rose 20% to $257 million, while analysts were expecting $249 million. So they beat on sales, and they beat by a wide margin on EPS. Now, looking at their deliveries in terms of their different car models, they delivered 4,799 SUVs in quarter three, including 4,196 of the ES6 and 603 ES8s. That was up from 3,553 deliveries in quarter two and 3,989 in quarter one. So that's kind of where, the Chinese market in terms of EVs, it was kind of soft. It was flat. They had 3,900 deliveries one quarter, 3,500 deliveries another quarter, and now we bumped up a nice amount up to 4,800, showing that growth, and I think that's another reason why this stock is up a lot here. And another thing that we got in terms of some forecasting is the company's expecting to deliver 20,300 SUVs in all of 2019, which is up 78% from 2018. Its sales forecast includes a record 8,000 deliveries in quarter four. So take a look at these growth numbers, guys. So quarter one, again, 3,900 deliveries. Quarter two, 3,500 deliveries. We just had about 4,800 deliveries. Now in quarter four, they're expecting 8,000 deliveries. So that's growth every single quarter. Again, giving us that 78% growth year over year, which is crazy. That is if they deliver 20,300 SUVs. Another thing worth noting is this past Saturday, NIO unveiled its third production model, the EC6, a premium electric coupe SUV. The EC6 will go from 0 to 100 kph in just 4.7 seconds. The EC6 is seen as a potential challenger to Tesla's forthcoming Model Y crossover. Details on pricing and specifications of the EC6 are due in July, with deliveries to begin in September. So it seems like the EC6 won't be really in production with deliveries for another year from now, more like 9 months to a year. So those numbers won't really start kicking in for NIO for at least a year at this point. So those are some key metrics we got from the earnings report. They crushed EPS, they killed revenue, their deliveries are looking solid. The growth for 2019 based, compared to 2018 in terms of their deliveries is looking solid as well. But the thing is, this company still has a lot of problems with cash. If you guys remember, back in September, the company had a cash balance of $274.3 million, which they considered not adequate to provide the required working capital and liquidity for continuous operation in the next 12 months. So that was back in September, which still serves as a concern here, but again, they're shrinking their losses, which is something positive, for NIO at this point. They're heading in the right direction, and I'm sure more massive companies, if you guys don't know, Tencent, they already have a pretty big stake from my memory here in NIO. So if we get more financing, bigger companies start giving NIO money, this is how this company could stay afloat in the short term and continue to provide results based on their electric vehicles, and hopefully in the next couple of years turn a profit at some point. That is the goal right now for NIO, obviously, right? Well, maybe the profit thing, that's not really a focus now, but in the long term, obviously, that is a goal for the company. So overall, that is kind of what shot the stock up. Now, let me show you all my profits. I probably already showed you this, but let me show you in one day today. And mind you guys, this is my spec stock. I don't have anything more than $1,000 to $1,500 in this stock, which is crazy. And today, it was up $700. My daily gain was $700, and I haven't seen that type of gain from such a small position in one day. I can't remember the last time, which is crazy, right? So did I take profits? No. Did I lock in any profits? No. And the truth is, it's because this is a longer term hold for me. I'm looking to hold this for at least 1 to 2 years and continue reaping the benefits of the growing business. Again, they grew production. They're expected to grow deliveries 80%. Their revenues are growing. Hopefully, they continue shrinking that EPS loss. So this is something that I believe in the future could be worth a lot more. And if you guys look on the 3-year chart, or not even the 3-year, because they haven't been public that long, I guess the 3-year to show the previous data from before 2018, you guys can see this stock was once $13 per share. Sure, it was very overvalued here, so one could argue that this could go up to $5, $6, $7, $8 now, especially if they continue to execute on those numbers, and especially if the guidance remains bullish, guys, because that, again, in my opinion, is what is pushing up NIO stock here. So in the short term, where could we go? We already broke $3, which I made a video a couple of days ago called NIO to $3. We obviously broke $3. We broke $4. We almost broke $5. So in the short term here, what am I looking at? Well, on the 5-day, 5-minute, we may find support maybe at, 350, that's a previous resistance from earlier today. If we start to get serious profit takers to bring us down to that level, this could be where we level out for the short term, right? This could be, where the 50 SMA meets us at around 350. That could be a support on this 5-day, 15-minute chart. If we pull out the year chart now, we can see, we're dealing with levels that we haven't been at since July. And honestly, guys, we're dealing with levels we haven't been at since April. This is actually when I started buying NIO, believe it or not. In the $5 range, bought a lot in the $2 range, and I actually bought a little bit more today, which I forgot to mention, at around $3.15 this morning when the stock opened up and started rallying. I just had a feeling that it was going to rally a lot on the day. Did I know it was going to rally this much? No, but ever since I bought it this morning, it rallied an extra 35% from that point. Obviously, we sold off from there, but nonetheless, it rallied a lot and is still up a lot from this point that I bought more shares today. So overall, looking at NIO stock, 390 seems to be a level that we're at right now, and it seems to be an old resistance from back in the beginning towards the middle of July. So keep an eye on a potential 390 hold here and a rally back up to maybe $4.50, guys, because something tells me this is not done. This may be a runner for the next couple of days, next couple of weeks before it cools off a bit, but in the short term, I think it's going to continue to rally, to be completely honest with you guys. So keep an eye, 390 up to 450, 440. That could be the next channel here on NIO. But without spending too much time on it, guys, I'm sure I've already rambled here long enough. That is what NIO did. Ridiculous day up $700 at the peak. For me personally, it's a paper profit. Didn't lock in because I do think there's a lot more in the tank here for NIO over these next couple of months. So overall, guys, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to go down below, hit that like button, and consider subscribing, and let me know what are your thoughts on NIO stock, any of the other stocks talked about in this video. I'd love to know your opinion on that, and whether or not you are holding NIO. Did you make any money? Did you sell out with a profit? I'd love to know what you guys ended up doing with this stock, or any plans you guys have with any stocks in the market. And don't forget, I have an affiliate link down below with Webull, where if you deposit $100 using that affiliate link into the account, you get 2 free stocks no matter what, guaranteed, valued up to $1,400, which is crazy. So take advantage of those 2 free stocks. I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks again for all the support, for watching. It means a lot to me, guys. Peace out.